Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a major move in the world of tech hardware and tech sovereignty. In this video, we will break down 4 brand new microchips just added to official domestic registries in Russia, what they actually do inside real-world circuits, how they compare to famous Western components, and why small parts like these matter just as much as flagship processors. So make sure to watch till the end. In 2026, Russia has expanded the selection of locally available components for power management applications by including 4 new domestically developed integrated circuits in its official registries of Russian-made electronic products. The Zelenograd Nanotechnology Center, or ZNTC, devised the new chips, which are designated as K1382EE01, K1382EE02, K1382EE03, and K1382EE04. All 4 are linear voltage regulators, which are relatively small but essential components that are used to ensure a stable supply voltage for electronic circuits. The chips are listed in the Unified Register of Russian Radio Electronic Products and the Register of Russian Industrial Products, both of which are maintained by the Russian Ministry of Industry and Trade. According to ZNTC, the devices are assembled and packaged at its Zelenograd production facility. Voltage regulators are common in modern electronics, despite their lack of visibility in comparison to processors or memory chips. Therefore, their domestic production accounts for a less glamorous yet crucial component of Russia's endeavor to localize its electronic component base. To understand why this listing matters, we need to take a step back and ask what a voltage regulator chip actually does inside an everyday system. In general, electronic components necessitate a voltage that is both specific and reasonably consistent. Nevertheless, the power that is supplied by a battery, vehicle electrical system, or external source may exceed the circuit's requirements and may fluctuate in response to changes in operating conditions. Between that power source and the electronics is a voltage regulator. The regulator continuously regulates the output to ensure that the downstream components receive power within the necessary range when a circuit necessitates a consistent voltage despite a fluctuating input supply. Linear regulators comprise the 4 ZNTC devices. In contrast to switching regulators, which use inductors and other external components to efficiently convert voltage and swiftly switch current, linear regulators offer a relatively simple approach to generating a consistent output. Efficiency is the trade-off. Heat is the primary means by which the discrepancy between the input and output voltages is dissipated. Look, let's keep it real here. If you burn off excess power as raw heat, your board is going to get hot fast. Plain and simple. This makes linear regulators particularly appealing in situations where simplicity, low electrical noise, modest component count, or relatively low current consumption are more important than maximum power conversion efficiency. When you look at how these 4 chips break down, 2 specific models stand out for handling higher voltage environments. The K1382EE01 and K1382EE03 are classified as high-voltage linear regulators by ZNTC. The devices are designed to regulate an elevated input voltage to the stable level necessary for other electronics, as per the information that has been disclosed. ZNTC identifies potential applications such as automotive electronics, industrial systems, and portable equipment. Mobile communications equipment is also mentioned in Russian reports on the registration of the microchip. In industrial and automotive systems, high voltage capability can be particularly advantageous, as the voltage required by sensors, controllers, and other semiconductor devices may not be consistent with the available supply source. For instance, a vehicle is equipped with multiple electronic subsystems that operate at voltages that differ from the primary electrical supply. Control electronics are also present in industrial apparatus and must coexist with higher voltage electrical equipment. Stick around, because up next we are diving straight into the second pair of chips built specifically for battery tech, followed by a head-to-head comparison with major American chips, so don't go anywhere. If you enjoy deep dives into hardware like this, make sure to check out our other videos here on Altitude Addicts for more tech breakdowns. While those first two chips handle high-voltage inputs, the remaining two regulators target a completely different market: battery-powered electronics. The K1382EE02 and K1382EE04 satisfy a slightly different requirement. ZNTC characterizes them as linear voltage regulators that are designed for battery-powered applications. Their responsibility is to ensure that the voltage regulation is accurate and dependable as the voltage available from a battery fluctuates. This is significant because a battery does not necessarily maintain a consistent terminal voltage throughout its discharge cycle. However, processors, sensors, communications devices, and other electronics may necessitate significantly more stringent power conditions. Portable electronics, automotive equipment, and laptop power systems are among the potential applications of the Russian chips. So, let's strip away the technical jargon for a second and just spell it out plainly. The four chips break into two clear buckets. K1382EE01 and EE03 handle high voltages, while EE02 and EE04 deal with battery drain. Naturally, this raises an obvious question: how do these domestic components actually stack up against established global alternatives? Although there are numerous established international products that perform comparable functions, it would be premature to refer to any specific device as a direct replacement for the Russian processors at this time. The LM317HV, a known adjustable high-voltage linear regulator from Texas Instruments, is a prime example. It can supply up to 1.5 amperes, supports a 60-volt input-to-output differential, and offers an adjustable output between 1.25 volts and 57 volts. Another example from the same manufacturer is the TPS-7A4001, a considerably lower current device designed for applications requiring a much higher input voltage capability. The regulator accepts inputs of up to 100 volts and can deliver up to 50 milliamperes, with an adjustable output reaching 90 volts. The LR8 family from Microchip exemplifies an even more extreme high-voltage implementation of the same fundamental concept. Variants of this family are capable of accepting hundreds of volts while supplying relatively small currents. We still have the most critical takeaway ahead: how manufacturing limits like 350 nanometers impact real-world production. So keep watching. Here on Altitude Addicts, we track these global hardware shifts closely, and you won't want to miss what this means for the broader market. These examples demonstrate why the term high-voltage linear regulator alone is insufficient to establish equivalence. The maximum input voltage, output current, dropout voltage, thermal performance, protection functions, package and pin configuration of two regulators can be significantly different, despite the fact that they are capable of performing the same fundamental task. Comparable international products for the battery-oriented K1382EE02 and K1382EE04 would include low dropout and low power regulator families that are employed in portable electronics. Nevertheless, the public's access to comprehensive electrical specifications for all four Russian processors appears to be restricted. As a result, it is more accurate to refer to products like the LM317HV or TPS-7A4001 as functional reference points rather than as confirmed pin-compatible substitutes. Beyond the technical comparisons, the broader story here isn't just about four specific part numbers. It is about domestic manufacturing capacity. The announcement's importance extends beyond the four individual component figures. ZNTC asserts that it offers a comprehensive development and manufacturing process for physical sensors and microelectronics. It is capable of conducting semiconductor production, chip packaging, testing, and integrated circuit design. The experimental integrated circuit, system on chip, and MEMS line, which uses 150mm silicon substrates and processes down to 350 nanometers, is described in the company's published production information. Corporate consumers are currently receiving the 4 K1382EE devices. They will not alone transform Russia's semiconductor industry. However, they are another step toward addressing the less apparent deficiencies in the country's domestic electronic component base. Thanks for watching this breakdown on Altitude Attics, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We thank the people who have liked and shared the videos and subscribed to the channel. We also thank the people who have hyped the videos